Welcome to the world's first recycling center.
Really? Edwin invented recycling in the 1970s? Yeah, I had to look into this. Human history is full of examples of reusing different materials. Just to name some notable ones, evidence of recycling glass has been found by archaeologists, dating back to the Byzantines around 400 BC. More evidence of recycling was found that came from times of war and hardship, when materials were in shorter supply compared to demand, a trend that has continued throughout human history. Later on, an example of recycling metal comes from the Romans, who would melt down bronze coins to make bronze statues, whereas the earliest evidence of paper recycling comes from 9th century Japan. If we're looking more specifically at the modern United States, there's documented evidence that recycling metal was practiced as early as the Revolutionary War, i.e. literally the beginning of the country. For example, in 1776, a statue of King George III was ripped out and melted down to make thousands of bullets. On an industrial scale, the first aluminium recycling plants opened up in the US around 1904, with more and more recycling happening as the 20th century went on. The idea of reusing materials might predate the 70s, just by a little bit. Edwin obviously didn't invent the idea of recycling, but what about the word itself?
Edwin Murray coined the term.
The first documented uses of the word recycling come from the oil industry in the 1920s, where the word was used to describe the process by which residues were reused. So, Edwin didn't outright invent the word, but could he have been attempting to popularise it? Tracking the usage rate of the word recycling over the years, you can see here the first uses of the word in the 20s, followed by this sudden boom sometime later. How much later? In the 1960s. Edwin, mate, you're a decade or so late, it seems. It was throughout the 60s and 70s that environmental campaigning around recycling household waste started to really ramp up, and that's most likely the cause of this boom in the use of the term. Enough real-world stuff, let's just double-check what Edwin actually claimed compared to what we've just discussed.
Welcome to the world's first recycling center.
I am recycling. Edwin Murray coined the term, and it will soon be an industry standard. I take broken stuff and turn it into new stuff. So much money is saved by reusing these old parts that we call it going green.
So we've shown that this certainly isn't the world's first recycling centre, and by the 70s, recycling was already an established word used to describe the process of reusing parts. I mean, even the going green part, people have been tying the colour green to environmental issues for hundreds or maybe even thousands of years. But to be fair, Edwin's use of recycling seems to have absolutely nothing to do with caring about the environment, and 100% to do with making money. In conclusion, Edwin is talking absolute bollocks. Oh, I'm sorry, were you expecting me to be a bit more diplomatic? Or suggest this is an alternate timeline where no one recycled until the 70s, like the whole bears being extinct thing? Nope, Edwin's just lying. Poorly. So no, I will not be incorporating Edwin inventing recycling into any timelines. Much like William Afton being American, it's a complete myth. I'll see you when you're older.